Yo, I am here today with another video. Yes, you are here to listen to me talk words. No, you're not. You're just here for, I don't know, why are you guys here? Let me know. Let me know why you guys are here. Well, anyway, today I'm going to be doing a little discussion. And this discussion is about whether or not I feel the global version and the Japanese version of Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle should be released. I already fucked this up. How did I do that fast? The point in this video is to see whether or not the release schedule for Global and JP should be lined up, and everybody should have a consistent release schedule. Global not waiting for Vegeta and Trunks for X amount of months, or waiting 10 months for Cooler and Goku and Vegeta to return. Okay, I wanted to get right into this. I hate doing introductions. So, I bring Exhibit A, the current worldwide download celebration. And for that matter, every worldwide download celebration that falls underneath this category. So, for JP, their anniversary is in January. And our anniversary is in July, because that was the release of the games. We are currently, well, JP is currently coming up on 8 years. We will not be coming up on 8 years until July. So, naturally, we are 6 months behind on events, on Dokkan Festival exclusives, on LR units, which are legendary characters, EZAs, which is Extreme Z Awakenings, things like that. We are naturally behind on these things, right? So, coming into this is like, okay, well, you guys are 6 months behind. I don't expect you guys to line up or anything like that. Why make a video on this anyway? Because I still have a hope. So, these guys, well, not so much the Carnival LRs. The Carnival LRs, I think, can come back at really any time they have like a legendary summon carnival or divine dragon carnival or whatever. But this Cooler and these Part 2 Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta, right? For JP, they're going to come back in about roughly half a year, right? 6 months. Okay, that's a long time, but it's not, I guess, the end of the world, so to speak. For Global, Global, you know, if you notice, it's 8/28, right? Okay, simple enough. All right, cool. Well, when was the anniversary for Global? Oh, let's see. Let's bring these guys up, actually. Why not? July 8th, right? So, July 8th, we got the anniversary. Okay, cool. We got the Super Saiyan 4s and we got the gods. Sweet. And then 2 months after that, oh no, wrong photo. We'll get to that in a moment. Then right after that, between maybe a celebration filler, we go into this, which is about a month and 3 weeks after Global had their 7th anniversary. These guys come out, right? Now, why am I explaining all of this? Why am I saying how this is done on Global and things like that? Well, usually the tradition is an anniversary banner will mark the return of the previous worldwide celebration units. Alright, so you have, for example, oh, where is he? There you go. You have Namagoku, which was the previous year's, which was, I guess, yeah, you can still say last year's. So last year's worldwide download celebration units. And then for the gods, you had the AGO Golden, god damn it. Golden Frieza's on the brain right now. The AGL Final Form Full Power Frieza. Here, both of these have not returned until this point on Global. So, what this means is you have the anniversary, which once again comes out on the 8th, and then for, oh, there's all the other anniversaries, just to show the correlation. Then you also have this not too long after. So, what this means is for Global, okay, so essentially late August you get these guys. They're not returning until early July of next year. That is roughly, I want to say, about 9.5 to 10 months, give or take, depending on the situation, I guess, when these units will return. You know what I mean? I'm talking to Dokkan Fest LRs exclusively from these worldwide download celebrations. Here, you don't believe me? So here, check it, right? So, anniversary, right? Previous download celebration units, right? For global, this is the first time that they've come back, right? And that's the same way for the UI Goku banner because they're both 6 years. Let's go to the 5th year. Same thing. They came out when the 4-year anniversary LRs came out, and then for the worldwide download celebration that year, it was the AGL Gohan and the Perfect Cell. There you go. Same thing. Global had to wait until this banner came out for these guys to come back. This sucks. Okay. As somebody, I'll get to that. I'm just everywhere tonight. What the heck is wrong with me? So, in other words, it sucks being a global player if you want the worldwide download celebration units. That means you have to summon now, or if you don't summon now, I guess during whatever worldwide download celebration, global players are waiting almost a year for them to come back on whatever respective anniversary banner that they actually end up coming out on. This is pain, because that means that we're waiting not only, I guess, what I would say to be the allocated 6 months. There's another 4 months that you're sprinkling on top of that, and at the end of the day, that just hits. Oh God, no. I can't get jiggy with that, man. It's so painful for global players to sit and wait just for these units to return. Guys, come on. If we line these games up, we can have anniversary when JP has anniversary, and then once worldwide download celebration comes out, it will come out around JP structure where they already had the anniversary units in early January. So July we get worldwide download celebration units. We can get a nice even spread of these units out and about in about a more consistent timely manner. English tonight, not come on, English, let's go. Point that I'm trying to make here is, and I also bring these guys up too, and these guys in a moment, because we're currently at a point where, okay, we're already suffering with the worldwide download celebration fiascos and stuff. Okay, it hurts the soul. Now we have to deal with missing Dokkan Fest. Originally, these guys came out before the Tech Pan on JP. Instead, Global got Tech Pan first. What happened to these guys? Hello? I actually was kind of hoping for the androids to return. I wanted to get me a couple more dupes. These guys are really, really good. Not to mention, I really, really was looking forward to this guy releasing because his animations are just absolutely incredible. And it's an exchange Blue Goku into a Blue Vegeta. I love that. I love that sort of concept, and I love that they're actually bringing it into the game. But guess what? Instead of these guys coming out when I wanted them to, which I guess to some people, I guess is a W, to others is a L. For me, it's a L just because I really just love how this character looks, and I really want to pick him up and actually use him, no matter how good or bad he is. What can I say? I want new shiny guy that I really like. You know what I mean? We don't know when these guys coming. You know what I mean? Because Gamma 1 and 2 is the next Dokkan Festival Global. Once again, just yeeted over this guy. And guess what? Because we yeeted over this guy, we also yeeted over AGL LR Golden Frieza, who I am just salivating at. I have Final Form Cooler, I have the Physical Metal Cooler, I have the EZA SDR Cooler, like, I have all of these Wicked Bloodline, pretty much powerhouses, and this is the last one to round him all out. That is the one right there that I just want, that was like, okay, Wicked Bloodline is peak perfection right now. Nope, can't do that. You know why? Because this guy didn't come out yet. This guy doesn't come out either. If I'm correct, they did come out as part of the same celebration. Where are these guys at? Hello, please. I really want to use at least Golden Frieza. I know he ages extremely well. I mean, the Blue Goku, he's good, but maybe. But still, please. Golden Frieza. Then we go to Vegeta and Trunks. Now, Vegeta and Trunks is actually a flipped situation, so to speak. Global just hasn't gotten them yet. JP got these guys in June, and we are now I don't think they would come until maybe late November to early December. So some point, in other words, we'd have to wait about 6 months to get them anyway. Well, the funny part about that is JP, these guys aren't returning until they return for us, which is saying that. So once again, now the situation's flipped. Okay, so global, we get a nice little bit of time before, you know, they return again. It's not like we have to sit here and wait 6,000 months for these guys to actually come back and, you know, actually be used here. No. JP this time. JP is the one who has to wait 9-10 months for these guys to come back around. That's ridiculous. So instead of having to kind of sit there in pain and fight through this, because this is a Tanabata celebration, which is why it's like that. Personally, I think that we should probably have a Tanabata celebration, or at least like a summer celebration, and then we have the Christmas celebration. Now, hear me out. The Christmas, I guess Thanksgiving / Christmas, whatever would be towards the end of the year, let that be the slot for the new LR. Either that, or do it when, so for example, these guys came out June 30th for JP. So that would be like a little summer celebration. Release it then. Then their return can be on Christmas, because Christmas you would have, I guess these guys return. You can have a new Christmas LR come out too. A Dokkan Fest Christmas LR. Maybe celebration. Same. You know what I'm saying? So you give us a reason for these guys to return, and the 7th anniversary LRs. And if you really want to be spicy, you can toss units on there from previous Tanabata celebrations, like physical Blue Goku and Vegeta, even though they are not very good, I would say, right? And then Tech Gogeta, yeah, good. These boys good. But you know what I mean? Have sort of this lineup. Just give us for Tanabata, give us new LR there too. Same thing again. You know what I mean? Big massive celebration. Or you could really be spicy and you could toss like, well, I don't know, because Worldwide Download celebration would be pretty close, huh? Nah. Okay, maybe not the Worldwide Download celebration units, but something. You could do something there, okay? Point is, I feel like if we line these games up, we would have a better schedule to where neither version of the game has to sit here and wait. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention my boy Merge Zamasu. Now, Merge Zamasu is, I would say, arguably as good as Golden Frieza. Maybe Golden Frieza to me is just a wee bit better, but overall, both of these units, the LRs are just slammers. Like, they are bangers in the court. They are straight up fire if you give them a basketball. Well, maybe not the Dokkan Fest. Once again, the LRs though. LRs. Point is, Global has to look through the window to wait for these guys to come when JP gets them first, and then they get to have all the fun. Yeah, I get it, 6 months ahead, sure, but same time, come on, guys, show us some love over here in Global. And then I guess another thing I wanted to point out is events. Events-wise, Global had been slaughtered. They got Cell Max, the Anniversary Movie Edition Red Zones, and GT Red Zones, and the Worldwide Download Celebration Wicked Bloodline Red Zones. We got hammered with difficult content. They slammed that shit on the table. They said, alright, look, here's the thing, right? You ready? Prepare to go through every hard difficulty event that y'all missed out on because of the Anniversary LRs. They said, we're making sure y'all are caught up. Here, take all this. Which, I must say, I do appreciate this, right? I do kind of appreciate the fact that it's like, okay, let's make sure that they get these Red Zone stages first, and so that when Worldwide Download Celebration comes, everybody can get the Wicked Bloodline stages. But on the other part of that here, you know what I mean? JP has had this for ever. When we got it, this was a half a year old. This was old news by then. I wouldn't mind if we actually had a point where this was, maybe this was the case. Maybe give us super ultra mega difficult content at the beginning of the year of anniversary, and then space it out and give us more difficult content so that it's a constant stream. It doesn't feel like Global's just getting hammered all at once and JP gets it constant. Let's just keep it all constant so that whenever an event comes out, whenever a celebration comes out, the events come out along with it. This also includes EZAs for specific units, because maybe on JP there's an EZA that just dominates, that just so happens to come up to JP, and they can blow out like Wicked Bloodline Red Zone or something like that. Meanwhile, Global has to wait however long. Meanwhile, we got Wicked Bloodline Red Zone at the same time, right? This sucks. It's not really fun. And then just the last little small part I wanted to bring up here is just updates. I feel like quality of life updates, while they're not the most important thing, really I'm either way about it, but quality of life updates coming to both versions of the game at the same time just makes it so much easier to micromanage certain things that may happen in the game. Say you find a bug that you couldn't find before in the coding. Well, guess what? Because you found that bug, well, we can clean it up now. We can fix it on all versions of the game and release an update on all versions of the game. Play Store will have their version for the international version of the game. JP will have whatever they go through. Maybe it is Google Play, the Apple Store, anything like that. You know what I mean? They can just get the same update out all across same time, and it patches everything. I don't know, maybe those little things, and then like Baba Shop updates that JP may get and things like that. Memory updates and things, you know, those little small little things that may not come directly to us right away, but still would be nice to have just to line everything up. And the last part of this that I really wanted to bring up here, it was a screenshot that I took here. I asked some friends in the Discord of mine. Shout out to all of y'all. Y'all are all awesome for responding, you know, taking part in this. I appreciate everybody who took the time to actually be like, you know what, let me just, you know, kind of give my piece here. So I asked, because, you know, this was before I actually worked on this video, I got everything organized and whatnot. I asked them why, if they thought both versions of the game should be caught up. So the first one here is from Sloth that I wanted to highlight here, and pretty much says, I think so, yeah, because it would take less effort on the dev team for customizing banners and events, and update schedules, etc., etc. I agree with that 100%. I feel like it's going to be easier on them just to be able to cover one version of the game, and having more people working on the same version of the game not only helps the game itself, because now everything will be on a more refined scale, everything will be cleaned up, ready to go. On top of all of that, you then make it easier on yourselves, because if something happens on the game, once again, this goes back to, you can make a uniform patch for all versions of the game that you put up to, once again, Play Store, Apple Store, whatever store that you may get Dokkan from. You know what I mean? Getting it up there and just fixing it right then and there just makes it easier so that you know what's going on and you can fix it right away. The next one that I wanted to bring up here, another really, I guess, quote-unquote favorite here. I did read over these beforehand. I do really want to talk about this one in particular. It always feels like JP gets the better rewards than Global. Now, whether or not this is because of Global not being caught up, or whether JP is just biased towards itself, I'm not sure, but I feel like it is. To me, this is only just the case of JP only has a country to deal with, compared to Global, where you have the entire rest of the world practically. That's probably the only reason why. If we do line the games up, what I'd probably say on this is make the rewards more consistent and more structured, so that we don't have to deal with the consequences of 7 stones per country and ends up not being as many as JP, and JP gets like 50 or something like that. I think giving out equal rewards to every player, JP and Global alike, just makes it feel a little bit better. Being behind is one thing, but being behind 6 months is just way too much. I don't want to wait 6 months just so I can watch the rotation of good and mid Dokkan Fest, while I watch JP users use their shiny, sparkly golden Friezas, Trunks and Vegetas, fuse them also, etc. once again, this comes back to the timeline. How Global was released 6 months after JP was, you know what I mean? That's just a ripple effect from that happening, you know what I mean? Now, I do feel like we can line these up, maybe get this fixed up, maybe so that Global can catch up, maybe start us on a JP schedule, give us the JP Dokkan Fest exclusive as well, but for a while, maybe give Global an extravaganza and give us 2 Dokkan Fests, and one of them could be like something that we missed out on from beforehand that didn't get released up until this point, you know, something like that. And you can do the same thing with like LRs, EZAs, and all the fun stuffs in the world. You could really just line them up so that if it did come down to the point where you had to catch up, you can catch up relatively well. And not to mention, not only are we going to get the new units, that of course the new shiny units that JP would normally get, we would catch up on Golden Frieza, Trunks and Vegeta, you know, Fusamasu, units like that. And then finally, if the game's going to get massive update changes like how the game works in general, it's hella unbalanced to have JP with a more fixed version and leaving Global with a more broken, for 6 extra months. This also goes back to the point of updates, having one update that makes it all uniform, completely around, so that you don't have to sit here and wait for 4 months for a Baba Shop update to make stuff cheaper come, when JP has had it at that point for 4 months plus more maybe. And then from a JP player's perspective, I really wanted to get this in here just so I could get both sides of the table here. So Blazing Ghost here, shout out to him. It says, I mean, it's understandable why they aren't caught up because JP started earlier than Global, but I think them not being caught up creates a neat dynamic kind of. JP players like me are anticipating what's coming next and whether it is a surprise, while Global players already know what's coming in the near future. So there's this feeling on anticipating what's coming up and prepping for it. Yet again, this is coming from a JP player, so I may be a tad biased, but in the end, to me, it doesn't really matter because whatever comes next, players of both versions are just as hyped and excited. So really the only thing that I have to say against that is, because everything else I can get with, once again, in particular, when it comes down to things like Twitter leaks, when it comes down to what is actually revealed, because of course we gotta know what the unit is before we can get hyped, before we can start saving stones, before we start spending. I think that, you know, the only real thing is Global has to wait just a wee bit longer for those things. And it kind of sucks because once again it creates the feeling of a window and it's Global looking from the outside in. You know what I mean? Then the boy Zero, my guy Zero, pretty much says JP's defense is because, yep, there you go right there, is because Global came out 6 months after, but everything else I agree on. And yeah, like I'm the same way. I do agree with mainly everything else here. Like that's essentially almost the same way I feel. Maybe on certain things, as like a different perspective or a different approach to it. But essentially, the result, yes, is yes. The Sloth mainly hit it on the head for me the most. And then this part I want to bring down here once again, JP player. Honestly, even though I play JP, I fully believe with Global being withheld the slice of life update. So pretty much talking about how the game works in general, things like that. If the game's getting changes, give it to, essentially give it to both versions. It's kind of understandable sometimes because they cradle to the current event, or it kind of creates this feeling of I can't wait for X. But at the same time, it kind of seems like it sucks to know this update exists and some players have it, but you don't have, because of the version you play. Yeah, this is why I say, if we can just line these games up and get these games to a point where everything is relatively uniform, I think we will be in pretty good spot. That is it. I am done rambling. I am done tying up words. I am done throwing letters at the screen. Thank you guys for sitting here and listening to me talk about, once again, another different sort of game here. I've played this game for a very long time now, so I've loved this game so much I do not mind sitting here talking about it. If you guys like this sort of content where I talk about maybe Dokkan Battle, or maybe I talk about other stuff down the line, which I plan to do. I don't plan to stick to just games and things like that. I want to talk about other random BS, and I'm still a Yu-Gi-Oh player too, so I want to get that in there somewhere down the line. So, in any case, if you guys like this, stick around. everybody tells you what to do. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. If you want to do it, then do it. If you don't want to, it's all good. I just hope you come back, and maybe I'll have a stream up within the next week or so. Maybe I'll have another video coming up pretty soon. Who knows? You'll never know yet. But in any case, thank you guys so much. And Raiko-san is out of here. Bye.